Whoa, never buy these types of houses anywhere, especially in the Jaffray, Elko, Lake Koocanusa area. My name's Craig and I've been in the valley forever. I've enjoyed all the lake life. I grew up in Fernie and I'm very familiar with Lake Koocanusa, Jaffray, Elko, Wardner, and I'm going to help you right now avoid some of the biggest mistakes that you could possibly make when purchasing in these areas, okay? I got some notes. I'm going to refer to them. Not a big deal. Doing my best here. All right, here's your never buy categories. Let's start with the big, fat red flags of never buy. No matter how good that price looks, you need to pay attention good. All right, don't buy that bad location home. If that home is in a bad location, either down in a gully, you can't see anything, or on top of a mountain where you're just going to get blasted by the wind, I'm here to walk you through some of the process here. Certain places will have, and you'll see this, and you might not see this, but you should pay attention, okay? Certain places will have a lot of wind. Elko tends to get a little bit more wind, so you should know how your house is facing relative to the wind. Down in Grasmere, down in Baines Lake, you want to know, okay, what is my water pressure? What is my, how deep is the well? Definitely when you head out into the South Country, which is this area that we're talking about, if you're on your own individual well, you want to know depth, pressure, quality. Can I drink it? Can I not? Like, you need to know these things. And then you generally, if you're out here, you're going to need to know, where's my septic field? When's the last time it was pumped? What kind of maintenance does it require? What kind of things do I need to know before I jump into this home and this acreage or this lot or wherever it is? There's things you need to know. Okay? You need to know, is this house going to be a money pit? Right? Have a look around. Give the side of the building a little nudge. Check out the craftsmanship. You know, is this like little things that need to be fixed, or are these major things that are potentially going to cost you a lot of money to get better? Okay? Mystery renovation homes. Now, something you need to understand is a lot of these older homes out in, I'm going to call it the South Country, Jaffray, Baines Lake, Elko, Wardner, Grasmere, okay? The older houses in these areas, Koocanusa Village is going to fit into that, and so will Newgate. But anyways, Koocanusa Village has new homes. These older homes, lots of times, things were built without the permit. Very often. You'll need to find out if what's actually on the property is allowed to be on the property. See what permits were pulled to do the renovations that were involved. And let's just be honest, a lot of the renos in pre-2000 did not have a permit, right? You could pretty much do whatever you wanted on your land at the time because nobody knew where we even were, okay? So you want to pay attention to some of those things. You want to, if the house has been renovated, you want to see if there's permits. And if there hasn't been, find out what work has been done. See if they're trying to hide something with some of that permit, not permitted type of work and those renos, okay? Get an inspection. Some common issues with some of the older homes out in the South Country. Beautiful homes out here. You know, everything, even from modulars, trailers, single family homes. There's a lot of beautiful houses, but they run into the same problems that are in say in Fernie and Sparwood or in Cranbrook. You're going to have houses that that were built pre-1990, and they have certain poly B piping. Some old houses, maybe in Wardner, will have some of that knob and tube type electrical. But anyways, when you go to these houses, check out the foundations. Look for cracks. Look for bad subgrade, where the water would sit against the foundation instead of dispersing outwards properly. You want to check out the wiring. Is it old wiring? Is it old plumbing? Certain things, right? These are things that you can look at before your home inspector even gets there, just so you have an idea. Water damage. Do you see like the water damage in the roof, in the bathroom, by the sunlight? Always look at the sunlight. The sunlight almost always has some sort of leak. Even if it's just condensation, it'll have some water markings up there. Okay. Musty smells, weird smells, animal smells. Know what you're getting into. If it's dog and cat and carpet, you know that you're in for ripping out the carpet, ripping out the sub foamy stuff, putting down some new laminate or something like that, right? Because those smells don't come out. And when you pull up that carpet, you're going to see why it stinks. Trust me. Asbestos. Some of the houses built before 1990 used a lot of asbestos in the insulation process. If it's not disturbed, it's not a problem, so don't disturb it. Houses even older that had the square tiles, you know what I mean, in the kitchen. Remember those black and white checkered tiles? Or we all grew up with those little tiles, and maybe you didn't, I did, but those tiles in the floor in the kitchen, they're old. Those have asbestos in them. You'll have to take care of that properly. And again, the unpermitted or do-it-yourself renovations quite often weren't permitted. You'll definitely want to get your home inspector to pay attention to certain things, okay? And they should know. Some common issues with new homes out in the South Country. For example, Koocanusa Village, all those homes are brand new in the last 15 years, I think. The majority of them are in the last 10. Doesn't matter. You're still going to have you still could have some foundation issues, some drainage issues from the foundation for water. Even though it's really dry out in this area, the whole South Country is fairly dry. You can still have all these issues. You're going to have issues with your birds. This is kind of interesting. Birds. If it's a wood type structure, I've seen the woodpeckers go in, ruin things. Settling cracks, new homes. Doesn't matter where it is. You're going to be wanting to look for these settling cracks in the foundation. Why? Are they major? Are they just a little bit? What is the cause? What is the effect? What is the cure? What is the fix? Okay. Drainage problems I mentioned. Definitely make sure that drainage is going away from your house. You don't need to cause yourself your own problems. Rush jobs and builder flaws. Like anywhere else in this world, not all builders are the same. Not all carpenters are the same, and plumbers. You have your good ones, you have your bad ones. Pay attention. Have your inspector check them out. If you can, ask the neighbors. Who built this house? Were they a reputable builder? Are they a run and gun, gone tomorrow type of builder? Those things are important. Are you on a warranty still? If you're on a warranty, who holds the warranty? Are they still in business? Are they still around? Can you contact them? Right? 210 warranty doesn't matter if you can't get a hold of anybody or if that company is no longer around. So you need to pay attention to those things. Heating and cooling. If you're out in the South Country, your older homes probably won't have air conditioner. It's called a window and a door and possibly a fan. So you want to know, You know, some of the older houses, you might have wood fireplaces, wood stoves for heat. There's a whole different gamut you want to look. You want to get them wet inspected if you're going to use them for those purposes. You got to make sure that you're in good. They were installed and they vent properly, and they just don't vent back into your house and smoke you out. You'll be able to tell. Some houses you walk in, you smell that smoke, not cigarette smoke, but smoke from a fireplace, and you'll that should set off a little bit of a red flag for you to get that checked out. Some of these houses, for example, in the newer subdivisions like Koocanusa Village, your landscaping, hidden cost. Lots of them aren't landscaped yet. Some are. They try to go zero maintenance. One of the biggest things I can tell you and help you with, being a former landscaper, is it gets so dry and hot out there. I would not build a house out there without putting in an irrigation system of some sort. Okay, now if you're at Koocanusa Village and you have access to kind of community water, you know what your pressure is going to be, and you know what those kind of things are going to be. Run a system that is very efficient, specific to your yard needs. You don't want to be that guy out there trying to water your lawn all the time. You want to be on the lake. You want to be having fun. And if you're going to have grass, for sure, it's easy to maintain. But you might just want to have somebody on hand that mows your lawn for you when you're out of town. All right, so your best defense, get a home inspection. Your inspector will go out and check out your home. Check it out. I don't care what property it is, definitely get it done. New, old, trailer, modular, custom home, does not matter. Get your house inspected, because you need to know what is potentially wrong and then what is actually wrong. Now, having said that, sometimes the inspectors are great generalists, not very good on the specifics, especially on some of these new heating, cooling, HVAC, mechanical, and plumbing systems. Definitely, if you run across any issues with any of those things, bring in the professional that can service and look at and tell you exactly what's going on or what's wrong. I can't put the complete onus on the home inspector for knowing all these things, because these things, some of this step 4, step 3, some of these new step processes that are required builds are tough. And yeah, always trust the person that lives it every day. Now, your inspector is a key part of your team, but your realtor is also a key part of your team as well. We'll be able to, like a lot of these houses out here, I've sold or I've shown 10 years ago, 20 years ago. Yeah, I'm that old. So I'll have some knowledge, and I'll remember seeing this house 5 years ago. And I'll be able to say, oh, it looks like they did a reno here. Huh, that's where the value comes in. Give me a call. I'll help you out. This will be we'll make this into a fun process. So buying a home out in the South Country is exciting, and it should be fun. We'll go out and we'll check things out. We'll drive around. We'll see where we want to be. We'll get into the right neighborhoods. We'll find you what you're looking for, and get you all the ins and outs on everything going on. Now, thank you for watching. I appreciate it. If you've made it this far, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. I am who I am, and I'll tell you how it is, according to my opinion. I'm a nice guy. I'm here to help. I will do my best to never let you buy anything that I think that you're going to regret. At the end of the day, it's always your decision. But if I know something is wrong, I will let you know.